I feel like doing this as a video just because it'd be an interesting conversation. I do believe I could be wrong, but if you're forced to choose between the GameCube and the N64, which one do y'all have? Like, which one do you prefer over those two? Do you prefer the N64? Pardon me, or do you prefer the GameCube? And I'm going to tell you which one I prefer, and I'm going to give you the reasons as to why, because it's probably unexpected. While I love the N64 and play on it still to this very day, I got to give it to the GameCube. I have to. I absolutely have to. In a world we live in now, it seems like the GameCube really paved the way to show you how this shit is supposed to be done. Okay? And I know that's going to confuse some people, but let me explain what I mean. When we talk about GameCube, it's coming off of the N64. Okay? The GameCube was the successor to the N64. And when you look at the game library between the N64 and the GameCube, yes, you're going to be like, well, Zelda was the best on the N64. While that is very true, you have to understand that game got ported to the GameCube. Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask both got a GameCube port. You had games like Wind Waker, which, while yes, unpopular upon its release, definitely gained a following and earned the respect it deserves after it launched. I mean, people learned then not to judge a book by its cover, slowly. Now, with that being said, let's look at like Mario. Mario 64 is so big in of itself that they were comparing Mario Odyssey, the new Mario on the Switch, to Mario 64. They didn't use Mario Sunshine. And Mario Sunshine, I think, took Mario in a direction that he didn't necessarily need to go, but was necessary in the long run, just off the simple fact of how entertainingly weird that game looks. I haven't played it myself, which is why I don't have much to say about it. But I do own a Mario 64 copy, and I have played the hell out of that game as well. But what really stands out about the GameCube is its ability to be the machine that started all this re-releasing, like this remastered and definitive edition shit. Started on GameCube. Let's look at Resident Evil. We got Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 4, which started on the GameCube, then went to the PlayStation 2. Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil Code Veronica X. All those games were released on other consoles, except for Resident Evil 4 and 0. And when they came to GameCube, they got graphic upgrades, handling mechanic upgrades, all kinds of upgrades. And with GameCube, it wasn't just Resident Evil, it was also like Skies of Arcadia. We saw Metroid go from the 2D to the 3D because it skipped the N64 according to its own laws and shit, because it's only on one generation, then the second, then skips the third, then 4, 5, and then skips 6. Now it's coming on the 7th. It's just the way that they work Metroid. Alright? But the GameCube really did. It really showed how remastering and re-releasing games should be handled. And if you think I'm lying, just like I said, you can look at the Zelda re-releases. You can look at the Skies of Arcadia, or you can even take Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes into account here, because it's just Metal Gear Solid 1 with a Metal Gear Solid 2 skin and the ability to look first-person view through your gun. But there's more than just those games. It really showed you how to do this re-release and remastered and definitive edition bullshit the right way. And that's the reason I gotta give it to the GameCube, because GameCube introduced us to this whole re-release, remastered, definitive edition bullshit that has become pretty much standard nowadays. The N64, man, I mean, it's neck and neck with me. Neck and neck, because I love the N64. Yes, it had the greatest Zelda of all time with Ocarina of Time, Mario 64, which is a staple even in 2019, going into 2020, considering that when they were talking about Mario Odyssey, they kept bringing up Mario 64. So much so that they even have a Mario 64 outfit in Mario Odyssey, just to show you how much that game meant and what it means to the overall franchise. That didn't happen with Sunshine. I don't think they released the Sunshine DLC pack for Odyssey for you to be dressed up like that. I don't think that exists. Um, and the re-releases, man, the re-releases always look better, and the fact they're re-releasing Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 4, and they're the GameCube version of these games, just speaks to the level of amazing graphics and performance and everything that these games, one, had, and two, got with going to the GameCube. But I just want to touch on it. You guys let me know. What do you think? Do you think GameCube is better than N64? Do you think N64 is better than GameCube? Like I said, this is just a topic I wanted to touch on because I own both of them and I love both of them equally, to tell you the truth. But at the end of the day, if I have to, I got to give it to GameCube. GameCube, you just had the right way to do the re-release game. All your franchises got better. N64 did introduce us to Smash, but Mario Kart seemed the same. And in fact, Mario Kart upgraded on the N64, but when it came to the GameCube version, we saw leaps and bounds progression with Mario Kart Double Dash, which is on the GameCube, going from the one player mechanic to the 2-player mechanic, where you have 2 different drivers. You're able to capture 2 different boxes at the same time. Something we haven't seen since the GameCube until Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So, when you think about it that way, that's how I'm thinking about it. That's the reason why I say GameCube is better than N64. As much as I love the N64 and it brought everything to 3D graphics, it's like GameCube showed you graphically where the N64 should have been. And it's not a bad system at all. Don't think I'm saying it's a bad system. I still love my N64. And excuse me. And while I say that, I'm looking at Resident Evil 2 on my N64 and Mega Man Legends 1 over off to the side, because that's what I've been playing on my N64 is Resident Evil 2 and Mega Man Legends 1. But anyway, let me know down in the comments, hit a like, subscribe if you haven't already, all that good shit. And let's talk about it. Let's debate on why N64 is better than GameCube, or why GameCube is better than N64, bruh. And I'll see you guys next time.